Nazy. I went to school at URI in 2004 to 2010, so graduated in 2010. And I'm currently down here in Rutherford, New Jersey.
Nice. What brought you to Jersey?
So actually, I was born and raised in New Jersey. So going to URI was the adventure for me.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, New Jersey is a great state, and but URI definitely drew me out there. So it was wonderful.
The ocean really draws you there. Is that why you chose URI to attend URI, or any other reasons?
Sure. So I went to URI specifically for pharmacy because it has a well-known program, and the campus itself was, for me, a very comfortable campus. It had a nice size number of students. There were a lot of activities, but it didn't seem overwhelming where I would get lost in the shuffle. So it had that personal experience, which I absolutely loved, and just went, dove headfirst into that program. So I absolutely love the fact that I went to URI.
Perfect. Me too. I love URI. My brother actually came too because I convinced him also.
Oh, good. Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes. Okay, so what is your current title and current employer?
Sure. So I'm currently a pharmacy supervisor with a specialty in operations and special projects. And I currently work for Atlantic Health System, specifically Morristown Medical Center, which is located in Morristown, New Jersey.
Perfect. Morristown's fun too. It's a good one.
It's a fantastic hospital. We're over 700 beds, so quite a large size.
Yeah, it's very big. We go to Morristown, even though we're up more by Newton. We do go to Morristown for most things.
Oh,
Just
nice.
they have all the centers and everything.
Very good.
Yes. So how did your residency experience help you get to where you are today?
So the residency experience absolutely helped with helping me decide what I want to do after graduation. As you know, from URI, they give you a lot of exposure to a lot of different avenues that you can take in your career path. There are so many things that were interesting to me, but I wasn't sure where I wanted to go with my degree. So with the residency itself, it gave me more of an experience and helped me decide that I wanted to do more of the operations, leadership, and management type of route for my professional career. So it absolutely helped narrow down my focus. It gave me great experiences in pain management, infectious disease experiences, but really helped me hone in on what I want to do after graduation. And I would, certainly encourage others, if they're thinking about it, to, certainly look into it. It's a great opportunity.
Awesome. Where'd you do your residency?
So it's over at Yale New Haven Hospital, the St. Raphael campus. So actually, funny thing is that one of the URI alumni was one of the residents there and actually introduced me to the program. So we had the connection through Lambda Kappa Sigma, which is the professional sorority at URI for pharmacy, and which is, fantastic because that's how we met, through the sorority. It was a great networking opportunity. And yeah, she was part of the program and told me about it. So another great way that URI, is making connections and certainly helping down the line.
Awesome. They always tell us how pharmacy is like the smallest world. Like everyone knows everyone.
Oh, absolutely. It's great. Actually, my current supervisor went to URI.
Really? Even comes to Jersey.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So what does a typical work day look for you?
Sure. So for me in the supervisor role, typically I'll come in, I'll lead huddle. So we'll have everyone in the department come to the main pharmacy. We'll talk about what's going on for that day, that week, any type of patient-specific orders for that day that's very unusual we'll talk about, or if there's a change in policy, practice, and really just share that information with the department. After that, I'll touch base with the staff, make sure that they're good for the day, see if there are any issues that come up, any odd questions that come up, mostly putting out fires for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I'll either work with our staff with controlled drug substances. So that's something else that I have a focus on is, working with the paperwork, working with getting the medications where they need to be. I also have students So depending on the time period, I'll have students rotate through the department, share that experience with them, and absolutely love having the next generation of pharmacists work with us in the department. And yeah, it's also about the staff. It's about supporting them, supporting their ideas. A lot of folks have a lot of different experiences. They've gone through different pharmacy programs, and then they have a lot of ideas of how we can make the department better. So really working with them, supporting them, and really engaging them into making it, what they want to see, which is really making it a better place for everyone. So it's
Awesome.
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, you're like the brains behind everything. All the
Yeah, it's a great way of getting everyone together, because everyone wants to do the right thing. Everyone wants to help their patients and help each other with their operation. So it's really great to see.
awesome. Or is the API rotation that you have more like a administrative side than like a institutional then?
Sure. So for me personally, I take IPPEs. I feel like you guys are like a nice sponge, soft sponge. So
Mhm.
I like to work with mostly IPPEs at this time.
Cool. That's a cool one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. So what is the most rewarding part of your job?
Really working with the staff and other departments in accomplishing a goal. There are so many different ways that we can make the system work better, more efficiently, and we can provide more services for our patients. So when it comes to seeing people's ideas and how it formulates, and they just come up with all these different approaches, I think it's absolutely wonderful. And whether it's someone having this idea but they don't know where to go with it or who to speak to, and then just making that connection, and then they just run with it to come up with this beautiful result, is just really, really exciting for me to see, is and just be a part of.
Cool. Yeah, it must be really cool to work with all these different types of people to actually like make change, especially in a big hospital like Morristown.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something else that we have is we have this program that's about staff development. And it's exactly that. It's just allowing these ideas to cultivate. So it's good.
Cool. Really cool. So kind of going off of that, how does teamwork play a role in your work environment?
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely. In a hospital, every person is a team player. So
Yeah.
whether it be nursing, prescribers, if you're working with nutrition for TPN therapy,
Mhm.
or even within your own department with your pharmacists, technicians, everyone has their own experiences, and when they share it, you actually have a more efficient approach to a task or an item or an issue. So working with other departments is very important, especially with pharmacy. I feel like in the pharmacy program, you're working with almost every department. So in a
Mhm.
hospital, you can work with radiology, you can work with the OR,
True.
ICUs, with nursing. It's just all these different departments. So and we have different committees where we all work together. We have medication management, we have P&T, we have med safety. So there are all these different ways that we can come together to talk about different issues or policies. And then with our vast experiences, we can come up with the best approach for not only us at this time period, but also for our other hospitals, our other departments, which is really, really great to see.
Awesome. And you kind of touched upon it, but so who would you be collaborating most with your duties and like what are the most interactions with?
I would say my primary interactions outside of pharmacy would be nursing.
Hmm.
Absolutely, and they're wonderful. Even with any type of issue that it's a very pharmacy focused item.
Mhm.
If you bring it to a nurse, they have a great amount of ideas and suggestions, and they've thought about it because they're handling those medications day in and day out with their patients. And a question came up with, how do we want to process patient-owned medications for a COVID patient? Do we want to receive it? Do we not want to receive it? And just talking through that process with multiple nurses, infectious prevention,
Mhm.
and we came up with a solution that worked out for the whole hospital. So it's really coming together, coming up with the experiences that we've had and solutions that brought us to that one answer.
Cool. I feel like all my rotations in hospitals, the nurses are the first ones that are like so impressive. They do everything. They really are.
Absolutely, and they have an incredible amount of ideas and
Mm.
recommendations, and they've certainly thought about it. So it's it's great to
Awesome.
work with them.
And I feel like a lot of like interprofessional like teaching education stuff, they really cram in like we have to take the nurses into account of everything, especially in healthcare. So,
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something else that we have done within our own site is
oh,
to have a better understanding of pharmacy needs and nursing needs. We actually created the shadowing program where we shadow each other for 2 hours just to
oh
see what it's
wow.
like in each other's shoes.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. So, what kind of projects are you involved in?
Sure. So right now, there are a few projects. I would say there's one in particular called Area-Based Pharmacist. So this is where we're working on our efficiencies within our department, and we created this position where it's like a hybrid position, staff pharmacist and clinical pharmacist. And this position has been put in a certain location where it's on two different nursing units
Hmm.
and doing order entry and providing patient services on the floor itself. So
Wow.
it's been very exciting, and as part of this, we've actually expanded not only to one position but over to two positions in two different sides of the hospital.
Wow.
So it's been fantastic work, and again, it's all because of our collaboration with nursing, making it possible. And because of the success of it, we actually wrote a paper on it and published it.
Wow.
It's very exciting, and that's
Yeah, that's really cool.
thank you. And certainly, from pharmacy standpoint, you can. There is no limit. You can write articles, you can publish, you can do research, you can do projects, and I think that's the exciting part. Is it's up to you what you want to do.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like pharmacy, they always say you're lifelong learners. You're always going to be doing something new, something different.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Kind of going into that, like doing things outside of the regular day-to-day responsibilities. Is there anything else besides like the publications and things like you said that you may have experienced?
Sure. So specifically with the profession, I would say we have the program where we encourage staff development and succession planning, which is very exciting. So it's something called PACT, Professional Advancement Career Tract.
Okay.
So this is particularly outside of your day-to-day activity. It's for folks who want to go above and beyond their responsibility. They want to improve the system, they want to improve the processes, and they want to grow professionally for themselves and learn. So this is an avenue that they can take where they work with different folks in the department and they'll come up with project ideas. So if there's one project where we wanted to flag a label to make it stat. So we actually changed the entire label from white to yellow for only specific, for stat orders.
Hmm.
And that was a PAC project. But now you're thinking about this idea. How do you actually formulate it? How do you put it into play? Who do you need to contact? Who do you need to sit with? So us as supervisors will help guide them accordingly. And we'll say, okay, let's connect you with our ICU pharmacist. You can work with them to say, okay, what are the conditions where they would need this label? How would it impact them, or is everything stat? And then we would connect them with nursing. How do we want to communicate house-wide to do this? So
Hmm.
it really bridges that gap, and that is a wonderful thing. And this program has been going on for 12 years now in our
Wow.
hospital, and so it's great. I mean, certainly, as you've said, we're lifelong learners,
Yeah.
and very eager to do that.
Yeah. Especially if it can help the patient in any way too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. So can you describe the benefits of having your MBA along with your PharmD?
Sure. So the MBA, I decided to go back. As you said, lifelong learning. It just doesn't stop. So I graduated 2010 and I started back up with the MBA in 2017.
Okay.
So I started doing that and I completed it last year.
Wow. Congratulations.
And so with the MBA program, it helped provide me with different perspective. It's giving me a new way of viewing different issues, and because of that, I'm able to tackle those issues differently. And then with the MBA program, actually, I pursued getting certified with PMP, which is
Mhm.
Professional Project Management Professional,
Right.
and those two combined actually really helped. And the reason for that is it gave me, one, the perspective, and two, it shows that I'm capable of doing these things for other folks. So when COVID hit and we started vaccination clinics and things of that nature, my manager knew I was involved in these, in the MBA program, project management, and he selected me along with one of my peers to lead the charge on creating these vaccination clinics, going to these sites and really setting it up to make sure it's organized and working efficiently. So it really shows others what you're capable of, and and it gives you that skill and confidence that yes, you can do this, and you can do essentially what you'd like.
Yeah. Does it put you in like more of a business mindset as opposed to like a clinical mindset? I would assume, but
Sure, I feel like you never lose that clinical edge.
yeah, fair.
But no,
Especially in the hospital.
yeah, but certainly it focuses in your attention on the business aspect. So what are your KPIs, your key performance measurements,
Hmm.
indicators, and you're really focusing on the overall picture. Can and the resources that you currently have in accomplishing a task. So certainly you have that clinical knowledge, but now you're more equipped with that financial business perspective.
Very cool. Very cool. And then was it a hard process to get like the PMP certification? I've never heard of that, so that's really cool.
Sure. So it's a little different. It's where with your Pharm.D or with a degree, you are required to do a certain amount of hours worth of projects. So it's about 3 years, and you already have this experience. You already have the knowledge of leading projects. Now, with that, you'll do at least 35 hours of coursework where they're giving you a refresher on the material you probably already know. And then after that, there's a test. So something that we're very familiar with, studying very
Yes.
hard. And in fact, the pass rate is near 50%,
Oh,
um,
wow.
which is quite tough.
Yeah.
So certainly, we do have that studying habit as a PharmD. So I'm very confident that we can accomplish that. And certainly, if you're interested, I would encourage you to do so. And yeah, so it took me probably 6 months from start to finish of when I was interested in obtaining the PMP to filling out the paperwork, doing the
Mhm.
training, then taking the exam.
Oh, well, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Sure, sure.
And then how has URI prepared you for your current role?
It certainly has. It just gave me the habits, the good habits of studying. I have quite a bit of drive, and URI was able to help me focus that drive. Definitely results driven, and really just overall confidence. With the networking that we've had there, working with different professors very closely, whether it's in class, whether it's through making recommendations during your rotations and things of that nature. And it really just gave me the confidence of if I have an idea, if I want to accomplish something, I can. So definitely with your eye, I feel well prepared for the world.
Good. That makes me hopeful.
Absolutely.
And kind of going off that, what is the best piece of advice you could give a pharmacy student coming into URI?
I would say that there is no limit. So there's no limit to what you can accomplish, what your interests are. If you have an idea, you can just run with it. And certainly, you have the support of the URI staff, you have the professors, you have each other. Whether it be through the sorority, through your classmates. And certainly, if you have that idea, I would say absolutely you are capable and run with it.
Perfect. Good advice. And then how do you see the role of pharmacists or clinical pharmacists evolving in the future?
Well, I think the pandemic has certainly shed a light on the pharmacy profession.
For
So
sure.
certainly in the future, I see no limit with the profession. I see more pharmacists at the bedside.
Yeah.
And I think intertwining pharmacists at the bedside on the forefront, taking care of patients is really where we're going to shine.
Awesome. Well, that's our goal anyway. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys are the face of pharmacy, so certainly exciting things to come.
yes, I'm very excited. I'm graduating in like a month. So it's coming.
Coming up, that's wonderful.
I know. Those are all the questions I had for you. Thank you so much for taking part in this. This is awesome to learn about you and Morristown and how you or I prepped you for everything.